Did you know that people pleasing in your business, otherwise known as the fawn response, is very likely costing you 5 figures per year, at least $10,000? And I can say that really confidently as someone who has been coaching entrepreneurs for a decade and been an entrepreneur for a long time myself. The fawn response can show up in really sneaky ways, and it's not just a problem emotionally, although it certainly does cause, resentment and inner turmoil for sure, but it can actually also have impacts on the numbers in your business. So let's take a look at the ways this is happening, and I'm going to get really specific here, showing you examples to hopefully inspire you to stop people pleasing your business and make this shift from always over-delivering and people-pleasing for others to honoring yourself and honoring your own needs, because your needs matter too. I really want you to hear that, especially if you have a tendency to slip into a fawn response or people-pleasing. I definitely can relate to that, but I want you to know your needs in your business really, really matter too. So 3 ways the fawn response costs you 10 grand per year. The first way can be over-delivering. So the root thought here that we have when we over-deliver, if you're a fawn response type of person, is something like this. I have to over-deliver so that clients don't get mad at me or feel disappointed in me, or maybe so I don't lose the client. If I don't over-deliver, I'm not safe. They won't see me as valuable. These are the kind of thoughts that can come up, whether you're a freelancer, course creator, coach, whatever it is you do. If you slip into over-delivering, those are the thoughts that you might have. So let's talk about how this could actually cost you 10 grand a year. And that's, again, on top of the emotional impacts it has on you. So this example is staying just 1 extra hour on a weekly client call, whether that's a freelance client, or maybe you're running a group coaching program and you're like, oh, I'll just stay an extra hour every week. That's fine. Or people pleasing in the form of over-delivering, in the form of spending just 1 hour a week doing out of scope work. Seems pretty harmless, right? It's 1 hour a week. It's fine, whatever. But when we look at this and add it up, that 1 hour a week adds up to 52 extra hours a year. That's longer than an entire full-time job work week every year that you are spending people-pleasing. And if your time is worth $200 an hour, for some of you, especially if you've been in business a long time, it's worth way more than that, so you can adjust accordingly. But if it's $200 an hour, you have effectively lost over 10 grand in your business from unnecessary over-delivering. And this is all rooted in this fawn response where we go, it doesn't feel safe to not people please. By the way, there's no shame in any of this. We all go through this. We all have survival responses, especially entrepreneurs. I find we have these. I actually did another video all about how these manifest, so I'll throw that up above if you want to explore all 4 of the survival responses. Now, the second way the fawn response is costing you 10 grand or more a year is people pleasing in your marketing. This can come from the thought, if I say the wrong thing, people aren't going to like me. They're going to be mad at me. It is not safe to speak my truth online. It is not safe to show up as my authentic self online. I have got to water everything down, hide who I actually am and what I really think so that nobody gets upset. That is a big one. So how might this manifest? Well, if you spend 30 minutes a day overthinking and over-editing your social media content, maybe your Instagram captions, or your email newsletters. I write a weekly newsletter, and I've been there with this years ago, definitely. Maybe you tone down your message to make others happy, or it's kind of that energy of when you're emailing someone and you're like, okay, I've got to have a certain number of exclamation points. Maybe I should put a smiley face here. Does it sound nice enough? It's kind of bringing that energy into your marketing. And 30 minutes a day, again, seems like, it's no big deal, but it's unnecessary. And it adds up to 2.5 hours a week, which is 130 hours a year you are spending on people pleasing. Not only, again, the revenue that you're losing here, the missed opportunity to do other tasks in your business, but it feels so bad doing this and feeling like we can't show up authentically. So if your time is valued at $400 an hour, you have effectively lost over $50,000 just from this time you're spending people pleasing. Even if your time is valued at $100 an hour, you're losing 13 grand just because of this habit of people pleasing. So it's really important to start bringing awareness to these patterns, right? Again, we got to remind ourselves there's no shame in this, but it is so helpful to just start becoming aware. Catch yourself during the day when you are people pleasing in your business and see if you can take little micro steps to shift these patterns. Now, the third way people pleasing is costing you is having a lack of boundaries. And this can come from the root thought of, if I set limits, if I have boundaries up to protect myself, people are going to leave. I'll lose the clients. My YouTube subscribers won't like me anymore. The people at my webinar won't want to work with me. My Instagram followers will all drop off. I've got to always be available. I've got to always answer the DMs. I've got to always respond to emails right away so I don't upset anyone. If someone asks me, one of my clients asks me to work on Saturday at 9 p.m. even though I'm off, I'm going to jump in and answer that email and work with them. Those are just some examples of lacking boundaries in our business. Let's talk about what this can lead to. Let's say that you say yes to just one quick favor per week. Maybe in this example, you're a freelancer and your client is always kind of hitting you up in Slack and it's kind of annoying, but you're like, I'll just do it. It's fine. It's not that big of a deal. So they send you an urgent quote unquote urgent, right? Because there's really no such thing as a business emergency. They send you this Slack message pretty much every week for an extra edit or an out of scope deliverable. Well, each one eats up about an hour a week. So 10 minutes here, 20 minutes there. It's about an hour a week, 52 hours a year. That's a lot of time, longer than a full-time job work week. And if your time is valued at $200 an hour, you're losing over $10,000 just by doing these little, seemingly harmless, out-of-scope tasks. And the root of all this, again, is people-pleasing. It's this fawn response that is putting thoughts into your mind saying, it is not safe to have boundaries. It is not safe to stop people-pleasing in my marketing. It is not safe to stop over-delivering. And the root thought is, it is not safe to honor my own needs. I've got to honor the needs of others, even if it means abandoning myself. And that is just so painful. It's not a nice feeling. It's not a nice place to be in our business and in our life in general. So we really, really want to shift out of this fawn response. Because beyond the financial consequences, fawning also leaves you feeling resentful. It's like, gosh, everybody else is getting their needs met. Why do I not matter? Why do my needs not ever get met? But the truth is, as much as we tend to shame ourselves for resentment and just be like, oh, I just need to get over it. It's fine. I'll just do it. The truth is that resentment that is coming up for you, if you see yourself in these patterns, is so wise. It is your body's, your nervous system's way of sounding an alarm and saying, hey, you're ignoring your needs here. You're self-abandoning. We're going to create this anger and resentment to get your attention so that you can shift out of this pattern, showing you that you are running your business from a stress response, survival mode in the form of fawning, instead of from a place of true self-alignment where you are honoring your needs. And when you learn how to regulate and pivot in those exact moments, pivoting those little responses that we tend to run on autopilot when we've been fawning for a long time, everything in your business can shift. I know, because this has been one of my biggest challenges and journeys and patterns in my business that I've had to shift. And I'm actually teaching an all-new live training here in just a few weeks, right around the end of November, about how you can create a wildly profitable and joyful business. And we are specifically going to talk about these patterns in our business, especially the fawn response. I've got some examples in this workshop of that for you and what it looks like to shift that. We'll also talk about your offers, pricing, and marketing, and how to approach these in an aligned way that doesn't look like self-abandonment and create all that inner turmoil. And I'll show you behind the scenes examples of how I've personally shifted my own patterns, specifically in my offers, pricing, and marketing strategies, to a place of more alignment, right? Not running from a place of these fight, flight, freeze, and fawn patterns, but really honoring myself and becoming so much happier in my business as a result, moving from severe burnout and push crash cycles to ease and alignment. So definitely sign up for this workshop. Here is all the time, information, and everything. I've got the link down below in the pinned comment in the description box for you. And another really fun announcement, I am opening up a brand new community the same day of the live workshop. It is called the Align Path. This is the only online community space where high-level business strategy, meaning taking a look at your offers, pricing, and marketing, meets mindfulness and nervous system regulation practices. So we're not just doing strategy stuff, we're actually getting to the root cause of why your business is not working. Just like the people-pleasing stuff we talked about today. Why does your business feel out of alignment? Or if you don't have a business yet and you just want to start building from a place of alignment, this is the space for you. So I will put the waitlist link down below. Be sure to sign up so you can lock in founding member pricing. It's just going to be $27 to join. And yeah, you'll get access to monthly live calls with me and all the awesome curriculum as well as the community space. So hop on the waitlist now before you leave this video, and don't forget to sign up for that live workshop because it is going to be a lot of fun. I'd love to hear your thoughts on anything and everything we talked about today. So please comment below and let me know what you think. As always, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.